Say, kids, what time is it?
Hey, it's Edson at GeekTime TV. I'm sad to say the world is just getting more and more stupid. Take this movement, for example, if certain people with certain political leanings are going to take it upon themselves to change published works by other writers. I'm talking about classic works that have stood the test of time, that have been popular for many, many years. All of a sudden, they're not okay. They need to be changed for some reason. Like I said, dumb. Let's see what's going on here. Agatha Christie joins growing list of classic authors whose original works are being rewritten for modern audiences. Unbelievable. And further proof that even the most storied creators aren't safe from the pearl clutching of identity politics, the publishing house currently responsible for handling legendary mystery novel author Agatha Christie's expensive library of works, HarperCollins, has commenced updating her works for modern audiences. Led by the publisher's own sensitivity readers, HarperCollins' editing is said to have begun in 2020 with the intention to remove any mention, whether it be a description, an insult, a simple reference, or the use of an outdated term such as Oriental or Nubian, of any given character's ethnicity from the author's works. Though these people aren't even writers themselves, what right do they have to change other people's works? They don't have a creative bone in their body. So instead of creating something, writing something original, no, they're too busy changing other people's stuff. It's just unbelievable. I don't understand why this needs to be done. For example, in Christie's classic Death on the Nile, there exists an instance where Mrs. Allerton, one of the passengers on the story's central boat trip, expresses annoyance at a group of children by asserting, "They come back and stare and stare. Their eyes are simply disgusting. So are their noses, and I don't believe I really like children." However, in HarperCollins' updated edition, she now simply says, "They come back and stare, and I don't believe I really like children." This is stupid. I mean, by taking that part of the sentence out, they're now combining two things that don't even make sense. They come back and stare, and I don't believe I really like children. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't go together. You need to put in there what she thinks of them, so that it makes sense that she says, "I don't believe I really like children." I don't understand. In another change, a black servant whose brief role in the original story was to smile in confirmation of being told to keep a secret is now read as simply being a servant and who reacts to his orders by simply nodding. So now a character smiling is not acceptable. Like I said, dumb. So basically, any work that someone wants to do that is a historical piece, whether fiction, nonfiction, you need to not even bother, because there's always going to be, in any era, words being used, phrases that these people are not going to accept. It doesn't even have to be historical. It's just anything that comes out of a writer's mind now has to go through some kind of filter with these idiots. HarperCollins' updated release of Christie's 1964 entry in her long-running Miss Marple detective series, A Caribbean Mystery, likewise takes such steps to avoid causing even the slightest offense to anyone. These measures include changing the description of West Indian hotel worker from having such lovely white teeth to instead beautiful teeth, and wholesale cutting of both the description of a woman who had a torso of black marble such as a sculptor would have enjoyed. In a passage where the character of Gregory Dyson is startled by how a black woman in a white dress had looked like a faceless apparition, but that was because though the dress was white, the face was black. So now we can't even use descriptors. There was no point in coming up with words for colors anymore. We can't use those descriptors at all in any kind of writing. We can't describe anything with any kind of colors. Sadly, Christie is not the first widely renowned author to have their works altered according to contemporary standards following their death. Most recently, both famed children's writers Roald Dahl and 007 creator Ian Fleming have had their respective bibliographies rifled through and butchered in order to avoid sparking any sort of internet backlash against their current publishers. Okay. First of all, I have a simple advice for these people and for anyone who wants to take a book and read it. If you don't like what's in there, here's something simple to do. Don't buy it and don't read it, but let everyone else decide for themselves whether they want to read it or not. So don't take it upon yourself to be the word police for this. Just don't read it yourselves and let the rest of the audience decide. And obviously, these are bestsellers, so the readers have decided that they like them just the way they are. I'm coming from a place of both, like, as an avid reader, I just find it so disgusting that people are going through a writer's original works and changing them. I think that as a writer myself, by far the worst thing you can do is go and edit a person's original stories, original works, because you're invading their minds, their creativity, and you're making it look like, from the reader's point of view, when they read this edited version, they still think it comes from the actual author when it doesn't, because now you're changing everything around. It's like misrepresentation, and I'd much rather, as a writer, I'd much rather have a book, if people don't like it, have a book like completely destroyed or burned, rather than going in there and changing little things and everything, because you're misrepresenting the author, and it's like, I think it's just totally ridiculous. You know, one author that always comes to mind every time people thinking about great novels and bestsellers, named Stephen King. I haven't seen anyone go after him, and maybe they will, but we'll see. But I've never seen his name come up in any of this editing or anything like that. And you know, I love Stephen King books. I've read almost all of them. I've read a lot of them more than once, and I'll go back and reread them. But let me say, a lot of his books have a lot of the use of racial slurs by different characters, homophobic slurs. They have things against you know, violence against women and all sorts of things that happen in stories, and yet no one's even brought up the fact that his books might need any kind of editing or anything like that. And he just so happens to be of the same political, personally, of the same political leaning as these idiots that trying to rewrite published works. Not sure. I don't know where this is going. I really hope this insanity just completely stops, because I really, when I pick up a book, I really want to read what the actual author originally wrote down there. And you know what? Like I said, there's been books I don't like, and I just, you know, don't buy them and I don't read them, and everyone else could do that too. And for any people who are working on their books right now, their stories, their novels, I suggest you don't go to HarperCollins to publish them, because you may see yourself your original works just being butchered by them. That's it. That's my piece of advice for you. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you liked the video. I'll talk to you soon.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up below. Also, please subscribe to GeekTime TV. It really helps us grow the channel. And make sure you hit that bell icon in order to receive notifications every time we drop new content here. You can also check us out on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at GeekTimeNet. Thanks again for watching. We will see you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?